And I know I got a bro named Jaime. He said he be telling to Mike. It's like Mike's show. He said Snoop just a prop, basically.
Losses. Is there anyone particularly that stands out to you as kind of the hardest one of those to swallow?
Nipsey and Nate, dog. It just felt like they had so much to do. Same with Pac as well. I feel like he didn't even get a chance to finish.
And I know I got a bro name. He said he'd be talking to Mike. It's like Mike's show, he said Snow. Just a prop, they had some tough losses. Is there anyone particularly that stands out to you is kind of the hardest one of those to swallow? Nippy and Nate? Do they just felt like they had so much to do? Same with Paz as well. I feel like he didn't even get a chance to finish. He died at 25 these days. It may seem as though every man and his uncle has a podcast, and it may seem like this because it's true ass. We saw in our previous video, check out Snoop Dogg, in Suge Knight's feud. Suge even managed to get a podcast of his own from prison called Collect Call with Suge Knight, and in his few past episodes has been exposing Snoop Dogg heavily, and most recently may have been appeared to link Snoop to the Tupac murder case. We'll be checking out all the details surrounding this situation, so be sure to stick around till the end for the full scoop according to the most recent soundbite from the co-founder of Hip Hop. Weekly chats with Knight. Snoop Dogg might have played a part in Tupac's 995 murder. I really got to have a real conversation with Snoop. Knight said, I knew that Paz did everything right by him, by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking out about him, and being real with him. And if it's true, what they say face to face, it's going to be a lot of explaining to do. Suge also went on to say that Warren made it even more clear in Suge's eyes that Snoop Dogg was 100% linked to Tupac's murder on the tragic night in Las Vegas. Their #1 war did a thing where he was on a talking whatever they doing out there, and he said that Snoop had a radio. He at Snoop house. When happened, I heard a horn bee honking in front of my house. I looked out the house and Snoop was outside in a Uche white Rolls Royce. Then he had this, the next tailback then. Remember the yeah. He had the could go that whatever it was. It was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas, and then he started getting calls, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot, and only way you have a ratty if he was at the fight with, and you had a security detail. Once this got released, fans have been going crazy and blaming Warren with Postle. Warren slipped up and said something he shouldn't have, so now Snoop Dogg is probably going to have to tell the truth about what he knows about Pisa's murder. Warren F up Snoop was jealous of P-Bon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification. This way you'll never miss out on any future celebrity videos. Similar to these first, it was Diddy, who fans believed and were certain was behind Tupac's murder. Now it's Snoop Dogg. The fact Keef D was arrested for his alleged involvement waned this case up 100x, because who knows what he will say. When it comes down to the trial, he could spill the beans on literally everything. As of right now, the nearly 30-year investigation has only produced one suspect, Dwayne Keith D. Davis. In early November, he entered a not guilty plea, and in June of next year, he will go on trial in Nevada. Snoop Dogg has acknowledged that he didn't like the well-known diss song Hit Him Up by Tupac. During an Untold Stories interview with Big Boy, Snoop Dogg discussed his toothless relationship with his former label mate at Death Row Records. In the days preceding his untimely death in September 1996, a week before Pace's death, Snoop claimed that he and Pac were very good friends. With that change a few days later, when he made some flattering remarks about Diddy and Biggie, we was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out, Pac's Biggie Puff, all of us together prior to Death Row. I never see myself getting involved, even when he played the video for me to You Hit Him Up. Even when he played Hit Him Up, the song, I didn't like the song. Yeah. Did you feel like it was too much? Right. I didn't like it. Like I didn't like this. Like it wasn't like that to me. Like it was buying more problems. See you. Like you're buying problems. Gangsters is everywhere and they make them everywhere. And I think when he got with us, he got to the mindset that we, the Snoop Dogg, isn't wrong in this instance, as you will receive the energy you put out there, and releasing a track like Hit Him Up is only going to amplify your enemies and put an even bigger bounty on your head. Although a lot of fans didn't agree with Snoop on his take with post like in 1995 or 1996, Snoop was making diss tracks against Biggie and Puffy with Pac, but now all of a sudden Hit Him Up as a bad thing, skull emoji lol. So Snoop Loki hated could have swore I saw him at the House of Blues rocking on stage with Paz when they played hit him up thinking emoji, and they aren't wrong. Snoop was being very hypocritical in that clip, but made a good point in regards to making even more enemies when it wasn't necessary. But you can tell he knows something, or he was simply jealous of Pac and his dominance in that era in a similar clip from. And the same interview he was asked about his whereabouts on the night Tupac was shot up in Las Vegas, and spoke on seeing him in the hospital after the incident. The next time I seen him, he was landing in the hospital. I just thought I was doing what was right, and it was some other cuz. Then as soon as I walked out of there, I went in the bathroom and I threw up and just laid on the floor for like 30 minutes. His mama came in there and cleaned me up. His mama came in there and cleaned me up and got me back right. Like I'm like, she is a hell of a lady, man. And Pac, he lives for about 7 days. But did you know at that moment or early on, that wasn't going to make it? No, that's Superman coos. I thought he was coming out of that. We've seen it before. I've watched him do it. Like he'll be all right. He going to come out of it. Before we go any further into the video, what are your guys' honest thoughts on the entire situation? Do you believe Snoop Dogg is linked to the Tupac murder case in one way or another, even if he didn't pull the trigger? Does he know what actually happened? Comment down below. Napoleon, the former outlaw rapper, has accused Snoop Dogg of suddenly shading Tupac. Napoleon spoke with the Art of Dialogue on Monday, October 9th, about how many people were actually feeling about the California icon Pac and how they were making money off of his story. Some of these individuals, they very slick. He began, you have the used brothers, you have certain individuals like Snoop. For example, they have a way where they acting like they praising Pac, but they're putting him down. Like Alan Yu said, Snoop dimmed his light for folk to shine. They do it in such a slick way, so you can be like, oh wow, he's not a hater, which in the eyes of hardcore Tupac fans and a lot of the hip-hop world have the same stance when it comes to this, especially with Snoop. As if you watch numerous interviews, when he is asked about Tupac, he does seem to deliver a lot of backhanded compliments that rubs fans the wrong way. Fans have also criticized Snoop Dogg for changing up his story in different interviews when it comes to discussing Tupac and his passing with posts. Like, I don't believe a word he says about Pac. So many different people say he wasn't there or not there altogether in different situations. Isn't it like well known that Snoop lied about what happened that night like 1,000 times? What in another interview he says no one was allowed in the same room Tupac was in, but now he says he saw him. With Tubes, it'll be interesting to see what comes from this entire situation, considering Key D has been arrested, and we have to wait months now for the trial. It will only increase speculation as to whether Diddy or Snoop was involved. All the facts Sue only a few days back came out and linked Snoop to it. Doesn't look good for him in the slightest anyway. This concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.